Hi everyone, I am Ved Vekande, a passionate data science and machine learning engineer, your current GDSC lead for this particular term, and I will be hosting you for this session. So let's go to the next PPT. And obviously, everyone will be knowing me and connected on me with socials. If any doubts persist, you can contact me on WhatsApp or anywhere that is preferable for you. So, what is Google Developer Students Club? So just an highlight of GDSC. So GDSC are common community groups for colleges and university students rather, interested in Google developer technologies. To be specific, let it be Flutter or TensorFlow or any other technologies that are interested in. So students from all undergraduate or graduate programs with an interest in growing in a peer-to-peer learning environment can and build solutions for local businesses or other communities, and are like glad to be part of this community. So Google Developer Students Club is a program which is officially supported by Google developers, and it is a separate community in Google as an MNC. So what do we offer to you? The very first thing that we offer, let can you shift to the next slide, please? Okay, so to highlight about GDSC, it is a global community of over 50,000 plus students, and maybe we have increased the number in this particular term in over 100 countries. I guess there are 121 if I'm right. So clubs are led by student leaders who work with Google to organize events, workshops, and hackathons. GDS also offers a variety of online resources such as tutorial courses, certifications, and etc. So if you are a student who is interested in technology and development, GDS is a great way to learn new skills, meet new people, and make a difference in your community. To be specific, we would be hosting many other events and community meetups in future to grow your network and your skills. Can we go to the next slide? Okay. So what is the aim? The main aim that we foster at GDSC IIIT ICD is empower the next generation of developers by providing them with resources and support they need. Resources can be in any format that you need. Although I can tell you that we have resources, or rather resources by Google communities for TensorFlow, Flutter, etc. So the main highlights of this particular community is that connecting with other students. So you can meet students interested in Google developer technologies at universities. Then apart from it, you can learn about a range of technical topics and gain new skills through hands-on workshops, events, talks, and project building activities, both online and in person. Even we will be hosting sessions for your CV and other stuff. And the final thing that we offer you is growing your community instance, applying new learnings to build great solutions for local problems, advance your skills, career, and network, and obviously give back to your community by helping others too. So the next slide. Okay. So what's in for you as a second year student? Uh, can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So second year students can apply to become volunteers. We are open position of volunteers, mainly for you people, and we won't be including first year specifically as a volunteer. So as a volunteer, you can apply your existing knowledge to various projects undertaken by GDSC and contribute to the GDSC community. One of the highlight of this particular thing is that we have a Google Solution Challenge, which will be coming later this year, where you can build various projects using Google technologies. So volunteers need to have some basic knowledge about the domain they're applying for and zeal to contribute to the GDSC community. So volunteers are also responsible for helping the leads in organizing events such as hackathons, workshops, sessions, etc. Introduction to the leads will be having in further agenda of this particular session. So volunteers get access to various community events and sessions held by Google student community across all over India. And to be very specific and highlight something, the top three volunteers would get a referral code from the lead to become the next GDSC lead. So you have a high chance of becoming lead when you get a referral code, and only top three volunteers will get it. Top three volunteers would be an inclusive term for all the domains, and obviously volunteers would get certificates from GDSC community for their contribution. Next slide. What do we have? Okay, and obviously the very particular thing that everyone is interested over here is swags. Swags from Google. Who doesn't like it? Also to mention, we have an event which is lined up just in September, where you have high chances of having these swags. To be particular, Google temperature bottle, T-shirts, bags and everything. What also to mention, if you become a volunteer, we would be having our own zippers. So only volunteers can use our zipper, which would have Google Student Developer Clubs as engraved on it. Next slide. Yes, the events that we conduct under a GDSC. I don't remember actually anyone was asking regarding it. So Google Cloud Study Jams, which would be happening in month of September. Apart from it, we have Flutter Festival, where you would be learning about Flutter. Then web development workshops, ML study jams, open source workshops, Google Solution Challenge, and the main Google Summer of Code. We would be having sessions for it too, wherein speaker who would have cracked himself Google Summer of Code would be guiding you. To mention about Flutter, we would be having speakers, not from third year, from outside the institute. The next slide that we have. Okay, I won't waste much of your time and rather pass the baton to the domain leads to continue with the particular domains and have interactions with you all. Yeah, you can go on. The very first member we have is Harsh Sharma, who is the management lead for this particular term. He would be guiding you with management domain as of such. Harsh, all over to you.
So, very good evening to everyone. Myself, Harsh Sharma, the management lead of GDSC for this term. So, let's understand what is management. Let's understand with a simple code. The first rule of management is delegation. Don't try to and do everything yourself because you can't. Obviously, you can't be perfect in everything. And management is all about assigning the right task to the right person, which in turn sum up to a better result. For example, in this month, only we formed the GDSC IIIT VICD, and this was our first session. Now, Harsh Tonk is the current UI UX design lead and is good in video editing. So, we give him the task of making the intro video. Now, Tejas is good in maintaining the Discord server. So, we allot him that task. So, this is how the management works. So, one line on management. If GDSC is the body, then the management is the soul of that body. Uh, just hold on. Just wait a minute. So, huh. Now the role of management. Uh, just planning and organizing, coordination and communication, leading and controlling, decision making, problem solving. Now, just understand this point by taking a small example. Consider a situation. Suppose we, as a management team, have to conduct a small speaker session, offline speaker talk. So, first of all, we have to plan all the things, ranging from space to conduct the talk, to the PA system, and to everything. We have to coordinate with the faculties, students, staff members regarding the time, the place of the meet, and everything. We have to coordinate with the staff uh, helpers to maintain the cleanliness of the hall, and we had to be in continuous communication with the core team, and we have to keep ensure that everything is working fine. And in case of any glitch, we have to control the situation and should be very quick in decision making and try to solve the problem. And this is how the management works. So now handing over to Tejas Raj.
Hello everyone. Harsh, can you please put the next slide? Okay, so my name is Tejas Raj and I am the management co-lead in the GDSE this year. So, according to me, what is the management? You can imagine of something that you try to handle it, but it is not necessary that you know everything, and you should know everything, but not in proper form. Like you should know about every domain since you are a CSC student, and you need to develop some solutions. And becoming a developer is really about knowing everything in general, but not like in technicalities into the depths. So I think from management perspective that you can manage something if you don't know about it. For example, there is AIML lead, there is web development lead, app development lead. You can't ask them to do video editing. They have their specific strength, and you need to realize their strength and use it according to your cadence. So on point of that, like today's, there was a lot of difficulties from beginning only, since we got the link created by Parik sir and it only allowed 100 people. So on the fly, we created Discord channel to go live. We created YouTube video. There was no audio, so we uploaded the video. So all of those was handled by us and the team members who were present with us. So management, like if you are good in management, you can become a good project lead because you can handle the necessary problems that you are gonna face, but also the difficulties that might come across. Also, you can be future sighted, like we have discussed already that what's gonna happen, what were the limit, how we are gonna conduct the quiz, but still the problem occurred. But still, you have to show up because you are the management. So, handing over to the web dev lead, Anirudh.
Hello, am I audible and visible?
Huh.
Tejas, Harsh, yeah. Yeah, so okay, I think this is one of the most demanding domain of all. So I would like to introduce myself. I am Anirudh Kazve from third year, your GDSC web dev lead. I like to weave the web in pixels. Okay, so let's start. What is actually web development? So next slide, please. So, what is web development? Web development is the process of designing, building, and maintaining websites and applications that typically run on a browser. Uh, Not exactly on a browser. I'll explain it later. From a static information-based website to a sprawling, that is a beautiful looking interactive application, web development is a stream that runs the World Wide Web with the introduction of Electron.js, which is a type of JavaScript, not to go in much detail, and React Native, also a type of JavaScript. Web development has seamlessly inserted itself into the application native domain as well. So, what are native applications? For example, you guys operate WhatsApp on web browser as well as in the Microsoft app. So, the WhatsApp which you run on the browser is a website which is not native, but if you run a WhatsApp app that is given by the Microsoft Word, so that is called a native application that directly runs on your operating system, and the browser acts as a middleware for your WhatsApp web. So I think this is pretty much enough for the introduction of what is web development. I would like you to introduce to my web dev co-lead, Nilesh Kafle. I hand over it to you.
Nilesh, are you present in the meet?
Everyone, please wait for 2 minutes. We are experiencing some technical issues.
Nilesh, you can just join from anyone else account. That is perfectly fine.
Please wait for 2 minutes. Please try.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
So, hello everyone. Myself Nilesh Kaple, and I am the web dev co-lead at GDSC IIIT Vadodara ICD. So, in my opinion, web developers uh, builds tomorrow's web today by coding and creating and innovating. Next slide, please. So now you know what is web development, but the question that comes to the mind is why should you learn it or why should you be interested in it? Web is an ever expanding field, and our reliance on digital platforms for communication, commerce, entertainment is increasing, and with it, the need of web developers is also increasing. And I think as a computer science student, you should have an idea about web, how the web works, and how the websites are made. If you want to learn something non-academic, web is a really great stepping stone as it has a low entry barrier which makes it easily accessible for the beginners. And when you are learning web development, you can also see what you have learned by creating functional websites. By creating functional websites and see your progress, and it is going to motivate you and boost your confidence. But the one aspect of web development is also the designing because you need to have a great experience for the end user. And the best way to have that is having a creative and innovative designs. Web development also develops your problem solving skills because when you are developing a website, you are going to encounter some errors and bugs, and you have to solve those by having by breaking the complex problem into the smaller one and then solving those problems. Web dev also requires a vast skill set that allows you to easily expand into other areas. Suppose you are a front-end web developer and now you want to switch to a front-end app developer, and that switch becomes pretty easy for you because the core concepts remains the same. Now I would like to hand over to Anirudh for the next section. Hello.
Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so you will be asking what we'll be covering in the workshop. So the first is that for first years and second years who are very new to the web dev domain, we'll be teaching you how internet and browser works actually, so that you know on what environment you are going to work. And then if someone wants to become a full stack developer or a front end developer or a back end developer, we will provide the roadmap and also the resources for it. Then for absolute beginners, we'll be creating few small projects which will also help you in your semesters. And then also those who are pretty used to web development, will be working with them on advanced technologies like React JS. And also we'll give them a chance to work on our own GDSC IIIT VICD website, which is used by which will be used by many people in the future. And then also one of the specialties which I would like to teach you all is leveraging multiple JavaScript libraries in a single project. I think for understanding this last point, you all should join the workshop and experience at least once that how what wonders you can create you with just a few small libraries, and just get blooming marks in your semester exams from your faculties. And yes, I would like to end my work session on web dev. Let's move on to the quiz for volunteers. Yes.
Everyone is requested actually to come by the original name and don't use some random generated names. Also, you can inform your batch that we are actually having quiz for web dev volunteers.
We will be starting the quiz in 2 minutes, so you can ask your batchmates to join.
Actually, to explain that the people who perform good in quiz will be shortlisted for the interviews, and they will be the ones who will be selected for the volunteers as of considered of web dev and app dev. So please do join this quiz if you are interested in the domain.
The top 10 contestants from this quiz will be selected for interview, and from that interview we will be selecting the volunteers.
First years also can join, but you won't be considered in the rank. Sorry for that.
For first years, we have something at the end about how can they be a member of GDSC.
We will wait for 30 more seconds, so please inform your batchmates as fast as you can.
I think we should start by now.
Okay, so we are starting the quiz. Rajat is on the first place, Davik is on the second. What does CSS stand for? Pragya is on the top now. The leaderboard is updated. Pragya, then Rajat, then Davik. Which CSS property is used to change the text color of an element? The leaderboard is updated and the new leader is Ayush Gupta. What is the purpose of a media query in responsive web design? What is the purpose of a media query in responsive web design? Dinesh now comes on the second place. Nice. What is commonly used version control system in web development to track changes in code? What is a commonly used version control system in web development to track changes in code? I think it's pretty easy question. Let's see the leaderboard. Jaideep is on the second now, and Ayush is maintaining his lead. Way to go, Ayush. What is the box model in CSS? Pretty beginner question, I must say. Mhm. Now Jaideep is on the first place. Well done, Jaideep. React, not the native version, is a dash JavaScript framework. Jaideep is maintaining his lead. Don't know who is the number, and then comes Pragya. Now, the next two question is of more marks than the previous questions. So please pay attention and try to answer it as fast as you can. Let's see who is on the top now. Jaideep is maintaining his lead. Then comes Dinesh. Nice. This question is also of more marks. People are answering this one quite fast. Nice. Let's see the leaderboards now. I would also request every participant who is in the top 10 to take the screenshot of their devices. That will be used as a proof. We have that data already, but we also want a screenshot from your side. All the queries will be handled in the meet only. You can ask now or later. These are the winners. First is Dinesh. Congrats. Second is, I don't know. Third is Jaideep. So with that conducted, we have our top 10, and I would like them to join the Discord channel and message the respective domain in which they have won with their screenshot attached. So Dinesh 930353, Jaideep Jaswal, Tejas Dash, Pragya, Ayush Gupta, Davik, Yuvraj, Vibhansh, and Siddharth. Congratulations to all of you. Hopefully, you will do good in your interview also. With that being said, just a minute. With that being said, is there any confusion among anyone? You can type in the text box also. Okay, so the Discord link will be given to all of you and it will be shared in the group also. In that, you will join the respective domain channel. When you will set up your Discord, you will be asked for what you are interested. You can follow everything, but then after the joining part, when you have joined the Discord, you will, for example, Jaideep, you have done the web development part and you have come in top 10. So you will take your screenshot and post it on that channel. You will find it in the Discord server. You go there and check out. We will give you the link. Okay, so I don't think there is any more doubt. So let's go ahead with the session. I would like to ask Harsh to take over again.
So handing over to Unique.
Hello
Unique, are you
everyone.
there?
Yes, I am. Next slide. Um, Myself, Unique Yadav. I am Flutter lead of GDSC IIIT VICD. The expert in everything was once a beginner. That means that no one start off as a master in a field or any skills. That means that once you play of sport or anything, that your limited knowledge and experience, but your dedication, practice, and willingness to learn and improve individual gradually build their expertise over time. Then continuous learning towards your journey will become a master. Next slide. And what is Flutter? Flutter Flutter is a UI tool for creating fast. Flutter is an open source framework by Google for building beautiful apps natively combined multiple platform application from a single code base. It means a single code base you run a multiple platform application, that is iOS, Android, and others. So, what language is used in Flutter? Anyone know? Yeah, Dart. Dart language is used in Flutter. Then next slide. Harsh. Uh, no, no, back. Why Flutter is used? Flutter is a cross-platform development. That means there is a there is Flutter enables developer to write codes that work on different platform, that a same code base sharing two different multiple platform. That means uh, ri- you write a code in Dart, but you can run on iOS and other phone, Android phone as well as. And live and hot reload means see changes in the code instantly and reflect on a UI. This speed up the process to work on the outlook of the application. Moreover, it enables developers to correct error that save cost and effort. And widget library, the Flutter have a lot of libraries, and everything in Flutter is defined as a widget. The widget as a color, container, padding, etc. Flutter is capable of creating complex widgets that can be customized according to requirement of the applications. But in a native performance, Flutter platform specific widgets are provided for Google, Android, and iOS. These widgets can be integrated in Flutter applications to make use of different platform development functionality. Existing Java, Swift, Objective-C code can be used to utilize native features such as camera, geolocations, any etc. And it has a documentation support. You can go on pub.dev. You read documentation of any widgets and dependencies also. Now, next slide. Now next is please join the workshop and to introduce introduction of Flutter, and first you learn Dart basics, use for loop and etc. How to string int etc. And know about widgets in Flutter and container, and just like two uh, two types of widgets, stateless widgets and uh, is- uh, stateful widgets, the what is stateless widget and what is stateful widgets, and know also about the concept of oops. Some concept of use oops is also used to write a code in Dart. And that's all my side, and now hand over to Ashtong. Okay, Harsh Sharma.
Wait.
Wait.
Tejas,
Huh.
Yes. So
Okay,
there
we
will
have a
be
quiz.
uh,
Yes, we have a quiz on app development.
So there will be a quiz on the Flutter development and Flutter domain, etc. So anyone who is interested in joining that domain in the GDSC for this year can participate in this quiz. And I would also like to ask the participants to tell their batchmates also that another quiz is starting in 2 minutes.
Tejas, present your screen.
Yes. Also, same participant can be selected in multiple domain quizzes, but they will be shortlisted on the basis of the interview conducted by the domain lead. So there is no problem in joining multiple quizzes. Would like to ask the participants to tell your batchmates quickly. We will be
Tejas,
starting within minutes. Yes.
Tejas, remove the person with the name of B. Who is that B? Remove him.
Okay.
Everyone, please join by your real name. Otherwise, you will get removed.
Those who are removed can join the quiz again by the link, but reload will not work.
We will be starting in a minute. Tejas, I think you can start now.
Okay, so I am starting the quiz now. On to the first question we go. What is a widget in Flutter? Okay, on top we have Ayush, Pragya again, and Srijan. To the next question. How many child widgets can be added to container widget? Now we have Kshitij, Sanskar, and Kamal Kemena. Okay, on to the next question. What is the purpose of the set state method in Flutter? What is the purpose of the set state method in Flutter? Okay, let's see the leaderboards now. Kshitij is maintaining his lead. Nice. What is the purpose of the material app widget in Flutter? What is the purpose of the material app widget in Flutter? Okay, now we have new leader, Dharm Singh. Nice. On to the next question. What is the purpose of the navigator widget in Flutter? What is the purpose of the navigator widget in Flutter? Okay, let's see who's on the top now. Siddharth Rajat taking over Dharm. Nice. What is the purpose of the stateless widget in Flutter? What is the purpose of the stateless widget in Flutter? Siddharth, Dharm, and Yuvraj. Nice. Let's see if someone can overtake the top three. What is the purpose of the stateful widget in Flutter? What is the purpose of the stateful widget in Flutter? Let's see the leaderboard now. Siddharth is maintaining his lead with Yuvraj coming right behind him. What command would you use to compile your Flutter app in release mode? What command would you use to compile your Flutter app in release mode? Siddharth, Dharm, and Omni are the top three now. Okay. On to the next question. What is the key configuration file used when building a Flutter project? What is the key configuration file used when building a Flutter project? Siddharth, Dharm, and Omni maintaining their lead. Can they be taken over? Let's see. What is the drawback of Flutter that might lead you to choose another solution? What is the drawback of Flutter that might lead you to choose another solution? This was the last question. Let's see who are the top three. Siddharth, Omni, and Dharam. Congratulations. Now I would again request the top 10 participants to take screenshot of the results and put it in the Discord channel of Flutter Development. You will be given the Discord link right now or at the end of the session, but you will be provided the link and you need to post that. And the further notice will be delayed there whenever the and all the third year student and first year student, if they are in the top 10, they will be not selected or be considered in the GDSC session this year, so they need not send their details. So with that conducted, I would again ask Harsh to take over.
So I request Herstrong to take over.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Myself, Ashank, currently the UI UX lead for this term. So, next slide. So, UI UX or designing in general is the magic that turns ideas into unforgettable experiences. Suppose you have any idea and implement it in web or app, but the audience is not able to understand your interface. And no matter how great your idea is, your product don't work. So designing plays a very important role in a technique. Next slide, please. So, what is actually UI UX? So, UI is user interface, which refers to the visual layout and elements that users interact on any digital platform. And UX is the user experiences that encompasses the overall quality of user interaction with the product, focusing on ease of use, satisfaction, and fulfilling user needs. For example, like everyone must have used Google Pay. So you must not remember how many transactions you have made, but you will always remember the cashback that you get. And also one more example I would love to give that many of you may have played the game Clash of Clans. So whenever the game is open, there is a sound played, and everyone around you will ask you that what is the game you are playing? Is it Clash of Clans? So that all comes in user experience. So next slide, please. So why UI UX? So UI UX is like it helps in designing clean user interface. So and next point is like it fosters collaboration between developer, designing, marketers, and other stakeholders. So whenever you get any project or like when you start building any app or a website, you all like must you all first think what should I do, like where should I start from. So in this UI, like UI UX comes and designing plays role. And it, like suppose you have a team, so one person can design and the other is a developer. So like it helps in collaborating also. Next is it creates a user-centric product that resonates with your target audience. Like many projects are there which have their own set of constraint. So we have to design in such a way that it take cares of that. Next is conversion impact. So if you have a well-designed interface, then it leads to higher conversions, and the product can be like more valuable. Next slide. So, like, what does UI UX comprise? So, first is wireframing. Wireframing means to like just put an idea in what will be contained in your app or web. Like, where should it be placed? Which interface will be look good, and what will be the more operational platform. And next is video editing and animation, motion graphics, product design. And the software used are like Premiere Pro, Figma, Adobe XD, Illustrator, Canva, and etc. So if you have any questions regarding this field, then you feel free to ask. Now I would like to call Falgun to talk on open source.
Am I audible? Hello.
Falgun?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are.
So, hi everyone, I'm Falgun Soni and I'll be leading the open source domain for this year.
Falgun, your voice is too much low.
Hello.
Now it's okay.
Yeah. Next slide, please.
All the doubts will be taken at the end of the session. Ayush, you can type the doubt in the chat box also.
Next one. So, what is open source? Some project, internal working of which is freely available on the internet. You can view the functionality of the system. You can maybe contribute to it or help in its development. So, let us suppose you create a project which involves sorting. And let's say it's not optimized because you used bubble sort. So, there is a scope for improvement, right? So, if you open source it and somebody is going through your repo, goes through your code and finds a way to improve your code by using quick sort, this will improve your project. This way, your project is looked upon and improved. Someone got interested in it and helped you, and you found about a new sorting algorithm, which is quicksort. The person who contributed understood how you manage your project files. And so, basically, both the sides learned something from it. And looking at the moral point of view, the contributor helped you. So, what's the idea of keeping something open source? To open source some project means to share its code and resources with the public, fostering collaboration and transparency. And to contribute to open source is to help the creator benefit from your upgradation and optimization. Uh, is helping someone the sole reason to contribute to open source? No. What you get from contributing in open source is that you will get industry level experience remotely, that is sitting in your comfort zone. You can enhance your resume very much by using open source. You can put projects on your resume which you have contributed to or have been part of. You get the satisfaction that the code you are providing is getting used by people around the world. You can grow your network, make connections from across the world. You can get jobs and interviews from it, and you can also test your skills. Let us consider if you are really good at web development and you want to test your skills, you can definitely test it through contributing to open source projects. You can challenge yourself by setting milestones on how many of your pull requests get accepted. And it doesn't mean that you can only contribute to projects if you know coding. You can also do non-code contributions. Obviously, if you want to make something, then you obviously have to code it, but small details like documenting the code or correcting the details in the code may also count as open source contribution. One example of contributing without coding is updating the README files, which you know is very essential for a project. Next slide. Want to know why open source is important? Working alone is easy because you already know what coding style you follow because it's your own practice. But when working on a project, you must have faced problems as you are not familiar with others' coding practices. You don't know how they name their variables and stuff like that. और वैसे भी वो स्टूडेंट ही क्या जिसने कभी कोई असाइनमेंट कॉपी ना किया हो. So even copying your friend's code might overwhelm you at first because you don't know what they are going up to. This only happens because you don't know their coding pattern. Well, contributing online is very similar in terms of problem of understanding coding pattern, and there are some strict guidelines they follow which make their coding pattern different yet predictable. You would only come to know once you start with contribution. And when a recruiter looks at your resume, which has open source contributions listed, he knows that this person definitely know how to work collaboratively. Next slide. I'll be having multiple sessions with you people, and some of the topics are these: Git and GitHub tutorial, contributing to open source, and a talk with a GSOC contributor. There will be a quiz at the end of this video, at the end of this session, and that will get you through the, that will be like a fun quiz. I would like Tejas to
So
take.
guys, be ready. Tejas,
Yes,
Tejas,
I am
share your
presenting.
screen. हाँ. So everyone, please join as soon as possible. We will be starting sharp at 5:52. Tejas, you can start now.
Okay, so I am starting the quiz now. On to the first question we go. What's the superhero version of sharing code in the world? Okay, so UnBX is in top. All the doubts will be handled later. You focus on the quiz right now. Open source is like sharing a secret recipe. But what's the recipe in this case? What's the recipe in this case? Interesting. Davik is on the top now. let's go ahead. Why should you open source your project? क्योंकि मैंने खुद कोड लिखा ही नहीं था, मैंने खुद उठाया था. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Let's see who's on the top now. Davik is maintaining his position. Nice. On to the next question. What's the magic spell that turns a project into a collaborative masterpiece? What's the magic spell that turns a project into a collaborative masterpiece? 5, 4, 3, 2,
Tejas,
1. Time's up.
Tejas.
Yes?
Avoid showing leaderboard after every question. You can show it after two or three questions. Okay.
It was set up in the beginning only, so the leaderboard will come up. From the next time, I can do it.
Okay. No worries.
Okay, to the next question we go. What's the secret ingredient in the open source portion that makes it awesome? What's the secret ingredient in the open source portion that makes it awesome? Let's see the leaderboard. Tejas is on the top now. Who is this Tejas? If your code was a puzzle, what's the extra piece open source adds? If your code was a puzzle, what's the extra piece open source adds? Time is almost running up. Tejas is maintaining his lead. Mox is also on the leaderboard now. Okay. On to the next question. What's the secret to leveling up your resume through open source? What's the secret to leveling up your resume through open source? All done. Nice. Pretty fast. The leaderboard has no changes. What's the superpower you gain by contributing to open source? I don't know. Okay. Rudra is on the top 3 now. What's the hidden treasure in the open source coding? What's the hidden treasure in the open source coding jungle? Okay, everyone is done with their answers. Nice. Tejas is holding his place. Why do recruiters love resumes with open source contributions? Why do recruiters love resumes with open source contributions? फ्री का काम कर रहे हो और क्या? Okay, so that was all the questions. I would like the participants to take the screenshot of their positions and message in the Discord in the respective domain channel. These are the winners. Congratulations to them. The top 10 participants can do the as aforementioned thing, which is post your screenshot in the Discord in the respective channel. And we will be contacting other people also. So take their screenshot, I think up to 15, so that if someone else, like in the first year or third year student, is present in the top 10, they will be selected in place of that person. So with that, this quiz is also conducted, and now I will ask Harsh to take over again.
So I request PR team to be ready. Gunal Gupta and Arkesh Chaudhary. Gunal, you can take over now.
Yeah, everyone. So am I visible and audible?
Yeah, you are visible, audible.
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Kiran Gupta and I am your current PR lead for this GDSC chapter. And so let's directly move on to the our team introduction. So here on the right side, you can see Arkesh. Due to some reasons, due to some personal reason, Arkesh wouldn't be able to join in today's meet. So let me continue. Next slide, please. Okay. So basically, after listening about this domain, some of you might confuse that what role did we play and why this domain is necessary. So as a PR team, we are responsible for some tasks. So let me introduce you to them. First is promotion and awareness. So basically, we are the core team who spread the word about our events, activities, achievements, and the various respective through the social media channels and newsletters. And not up to that, we also keep exploring new ways to attract and inform our audience. The second way is the branding and identity. We establish and hold a consistent and professional identity for our GDSC chapter, following the guidelines and standards set by the Google, so that we can hold our branding and it can make it work for what it to be. And the third and fourth is the community engagement and feedback management. So we basically facilitate both feedback and communication to improve our services and performance. So we would love to have your feedback so that we can improve and implement changes accordingly, so that we can improve our all the sessions, events, and upcoming things. And the last one is the partnership and sponsorship. So we seek and establish collaborations with our other GDSC chapters, organizations, institutions, and companies that share our vision and values to secure sponsorship and support our events. Basically, these are very useful to organize such types of talks and bring such type of valuable content to you. So as you can see, PR is a virtual domain that supports and enhances the work of other domains in our GDSC chapter. It is also a great opportunity to learn and develop skills such as communication, creativity, marketing, networking, etc. So not that much up to. We are in lack of time, so I would just wind up all the thing and would like women in tech to take further. Next slide.
So thank you, Gunal. I will request Akansha to take over. Akansha, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Hers. Hi, everyone. It's great to connect with you all today. I am Akanksha and I'll be your Women in Tech lead for this year. Next slide, please. Next slide. First, we will know what is the exact meaning of this domain. So, this domain is all about empower and encourage diversity within the tech industry. The mission is to support and uplift women in their pursuit of tech careers, addressing the gender imbalance that still persists in this sector. So, here we are committed to create an environment that fosters growth, learning, and meaningful contributions for women within the tech industry. Next slide, please. Yeah. So many of you might be wondering that why do we need this particular domain? right? So statistically, if you look at the figures, only 26% of IT and its roles are held by the women's, and unfortunately, as we move up the career ladder, this representation goes down even more. Like less than 1% are in leadership positions like CEOs and CTOs. A recent global survey conducted in 2022 came up with a very shocking result that 91.88% of software developers are men. So it's really a very high time. Question come up in the mind that why we are facing this problem. So as I believe, the problem arises due to the lack of opportunities, and as we already know that this domain being so male dominated, and it is often pre-assumed that women are not suitable or capable of building a career in STEM. You might have heard certain stereotypes on the same, and at the same point, women might have feel some kind of left out from the crowd. And this is one of the biggest reason that 50% of the women are leaving their IT jobs by the age of 35. So, what could be the solutions? The solutions can be empowerment through the events like mentorship programs, scholarship programs, internship, and hiring drives just for the female candidates, and certain coding competitions. And there are certain organizations which are just dedicated to women in tech, like Tech Makers Initiative by the Google. It is really a very high time to take the field further.
So, hello everyone. I am Shita Agarwal, your Women in Tech co-lead. Next slide. So here we have listed down few of industry-backed programs oriented towards uplifting women in tech, like Generation Google sponsorship by Google. Next we have is Amazon Wow, which is a great initiative by Amazon that provides an opportunity to participate in skill building sessions, utilize available resources, and be acquainted with their culture. DA Shaw, Accent Educare, and LinkedIn coaching program are designed to provide mentorship to female students in tech. Outreachy is an open source program specifically for girls. Atlassian Women in Tech Internship and Flipkart Runaway are again a great initiative to provide internship opportunities to female students. Grace Hopper Celebration is the world's largest Women in Tech conference, and if you're selected for it, then you can also get a chance to attend the conference in USA. And the list doesn't end here. Next slide. Uh, Coming to what we will be covering here, we will update you about upcoming mentorship and scholarship programs and help you with filling out the application process. Next, we will be conducting talks and sessions to guide you through these opportunities and organize sessions with past scholars and interns who were part of these events. These opportunities will provide a great platform for you to connect and communicate with people interested in the same domain. So now, instead of missing these opportunities, we have got you covered. There will be many opportunities coming in your way, so start preparing well for it. Also, if you're interested to become a part of this wonderful community, you're most welcome. It will really give an edge in your journey. We will circulate a Google form in few days and interview will be conducted on that basis. If you have any queries, you can ask them in the Discord channel and we will be there to help you. Now, I would like to hand over to Pradyot to guide you through the technical writing domain.
So, hello everyone, I'm Pradyot. I'm technical writing lead for this term. Next slide, please. Next. So, first, you need to know what is technical writing. I will explain you to the writer's role. It is the art of conveying complex technical information in a clear, concise manner. Like basically, a technical writer acts as a bridge between developer, designer, and the end user. Like for example, imagine having a puzzle. A puzzle is developed by a developer, that is he creates the puzzle, that is the codes he creates, and the designer creates the field, gives the puzzle a field, that is the user interface. But the end user just want to solve the puzzle, so he needs a simple instruction manual, which is the work of a technical writer. Next slide. So what we'll be covering in technical writing in GDSC, the topics are project documentation, guides and tutorials, and sharing insights. It's basically the blogs, technical blogs and articles, and other technical writing documents. Examples include resume, CV, GitHub README, etc. So that's it from all the domains, I guess. I'll give it to Ved for conclusion.
Yeah, thank you, Pradyut. I hope your all queries are answered and you got introduced to whatever domains we are offering under GDSC. To also mention about the session that we had, I hope you got to know about what is GDSC, what is Google Communities, what do we do, and who are GDSC leads, who are GDSC domain leads, and everything, and how can you be part of it. For those which didn't had any quiz, we would be circulating Google Forms soon, which would be having everything that you want. Apart from it, I had some special announcements for first year students. So, for first year students, if they are present in this meet, you can be part of this community. The only thing that you need to do is get active on Discord, ask questions regarding whatever you're doing, and show us your enthusiasm. You can approach the domain leads or domain co-leads or anyone to show your enthusiasm and ask for any work that we have. To all those who won't be selected as volunteers from second years, you can still be part of this community by volunteering for a specific events. You just have to approach leads for any event to ask if they are organizing any event. Apart from it, we would be having a swags which would be having this particular logo and everything that you want. Soon we would be releasing its form too. In swags, we would be offering mostly zippers. That totally depends later. Apart from it, if there are any special questions for you, you can either open your mic or have the chat section all to you. And also to mention, join our Discord server. Any doubts? If there are any.
We just clear them, but would how would the others would be taken just like Google Forms?
Uh, the domains to mention PR, management, women in tech, technical writing, and UI UX would be having Google Forms. We would be circulating it maybe in this particular week. And I have this something first year के लिए और कुछ है क्या? First year students mostly have to participate in these events. We will be providing you with certificates with that Google logo and everything. That can add something to your resume or maybe LinkedIn. And soon we will be having sessions which you need like resumes and LinkedIn everything. To mention about a special event that we have, soon we would be having an event which is Google Cloud Study Jams. We would be circulating forms for it mostly from 29th. Just keep an eye on forms. We have limited seats for it around 150, so it would be on first come first serve basis. If there are any more doubts, how many volunteers will be appointed per domain? Per domain, we are thinking of one or two volunteers. That totally depends on number of responses that we have. But assume maybe two. Mostly, we would be having two volunteers. Let me check the result. Okay. Yeah, and also to state, we have this our GDSC website. Anirudh has sent the link for the website. You can check out the website. And also, for those who have not joined this GDSC IIIT ICD uh, channel, not channel for that matter, website chapter, you can join it via the link. We would be sharing the link to join the chapter soon. For those, I think, who have RSVP'd for the event, you would have been part of the chapter itself. Yeah, make sure.
With
Yeah.
if they access the website,
Hmm.
then they'll find a join us button there. Then if they
Yeah,
click on join us, we are redirecting them.
yeah, great. Then you can join our chapter from the link itself. The
Yes.
link would be the link of GDSC website would be circulated on your WhatsApp groups. Apart from there, is there anything more that you would like to know about GDSC? And for those who want to be the next GDSC lead, either second year students or third year students can be the next GDSC lead. There is a separate process that is conducted by Google itself, in which you would first need to actually fill out your responses regarding why do you want to be GDSC lead, what are your responses, like what are your contributions and everything. Apart from it, there are two diagnostic tests which would actually test your technical knowledge. Apart from it, after you pass the diagnostic test, there is this interview conducted by GDSC moderators, and after that, they will decide if they want you to be the next GDSC lead. So anything else? You can open your mic or have the chat. Yeah, obviously do join the Discord server. All the updates would be posted on the Discord, and we won't be doing anything on WhatsApp particularly.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah. Okay, then let's start formally.